Hi everyone! Now you're on our second video to learn about how to use Git to submit your homework and create a branch and then make that branch go onto your remote. So what you're going to do is, if you've already created your iOS project, you're going to want to move that project into your Git repo that you've already put onto your machine. If you haven't created it yet, then just save it where your Git repo is, or you could follow these instructions after you've created it somewhere else. So hopefully you know where you kept your file that you created for iOS. But for me, I put it under Documents. So I'll go to the Finder, under Documents, and I saved it under my mobile software dev folder that I created earlier. So here it is, my first project. This folder here, this is my Git repo. And so I want this folder to be in that one. So simple enough, all you do is just drag it and put it in there. So now when I click into my Git repo here, my folder is in there. That's how you want it to be. You don't want to touch anything within that or move anything else. From now on, don't make copies of your file and put it into different places. That is just going to screw up your Git. You want to keep this here and work off of this specific project. And that is going to make your life a whole lot easier. So now this is actually saved into our Git repo. My Git repo is called iOS project. iOS like -lcamp1. So now I'm going to go into my terminal. Here's my terminal. Let's minimize that. Okay. Let's make this a little bigger so you guys can see it. So here I am on my main branch, but let's say that you are just on your home. So let's say your screen looks like this. I need to actually navigate to where my file is. This is what you'll probably need to do weeks after this when you're submitting your homework. You'll just enter onto your main screen, onto your home. So I'm going to have to go into where my Git repo is, which is under Documents / Mobile Software Dev / iOS project. So I need to put the actual path that my repo is, and it's this. So now I've put my folder in there. Now there's a new thing. I can tell by this little X. So I'm going to say Git status to find out. You can see there's some files in there. Git add dot, Git status. Okay, so now you can see all of these files are going to be added to my remote Git. But before I actually commit any of these, I want to actually put it onto a different branch. Since this is your first homework, it doesn't make sense to necessarily create a branch, but I'm going to show you how to do this for this homework and for future homeworks, because in real life, you're not just going to be committing to your main branch. So that's what we're going to do for this homework and for future homeworks is you're always going to be creating a branch off of main. So first I'm going to type in git checkout /b and then the name of my branch. A lot of times in software engineering, you'll put your username / the name of the branch. So that's what I'm going to do. My username is L Campbell. Then I'm going to say L Campbell / my first project. So that's going to be my name of the branch is L Campbell / my first project. So this is the whole name. There you go. So now you can see that my branch is now called L Campbell / my first project. So I'm going to say Git status and make sure I'm on there. You can see these are all green. So that means those are all added into my, just ready to get committed. So now I'm going to say git commit -m, oops, don't put a space there. And then I'm going to put a commit message. So Chelsea will probably talk to you about how to make really good commit messages. But for me, I'm just going to write my first commit, which isn't very detailed. You probably want to put something a little more detailed, but just for demonstration's sake. Now I'm going to click enter. And now you can see sometimes it wants you to add this information. So you want to just follow the prompts. If you get a prompt that tells you to do something, don't be scared off. For me, I know I was really nervous when I first started using Git because it's like, what if I screw it up? You probably won't screw it up. You should be fine. But for me, I'm going to write git config, user.email, and then I'm going to say my email, lcamp1@uchicago.edu. Is that right? Yeah. Okay. So now I can do my git commit -m. Let's see, my first commit because it never actually committed before. Okay, so now I've committed, but that doesn't mean it's actually on your remote. So what you need to do is say Git Push. Now I clicked Git Push, but now there's another message. It's saying that I need to set the upstream. So don't be scared off by these messages. I get them all the time. And I just follow the instructions or try to figure out, well, what's wrong. So for this situation, I'm going to type in Git Push, and I have to actually set the upstream, origin, and then, so basically what I'm doing here is I'm saying Git Push, so I'm pushing it, and then I'm setting where it's actually pushing to be the branch that I just created. So you're going to type in Git Push -- set upstream origin, the name of your branch, enter. Now it's actually pushed all of that stuff to my branch. So let's open up our Git repo again. Here we go. You can see I made pushes less than a minute ago. So that's exactly what we want to see. And you can find your branch by clicking on this branches button. And there it is, my first project. So I'm going to click into that, and you'll see this is exactly how it's supposed to look. I'm going to have my project in there and all these folders and things. It's very difficult to navigate an iOS project within GitHub itself, but you don't really need to do that. This is just a way to save the versions of your file so that if you screw something up, you can get back to a version that you didn't screw up and just see exactly kind of what went wrong. Okay. So here I am on my just main part of my project. I'm just going to click on this. Now, when you click on this branches, what I'm going to do to actually submit my homework, this is very important, is you're going to create a new pull request. As a software engineer, this is how you let the other engineers on your team or in your company know what to look over and what to review, what work you've finished for your project. And so I'm going to click on this new pull request. And here's my first commit. Chelsea is probably going to talk to you a little bit about how to leave these PR messages. So you want them to be detailed about what you're committing. For my company, we usually will do a pretty detailed description of like why you're doing this. Did you meet all these criteria? But in this situation, I'm just going to write test, but you're going to want to fill out this related to your homework. So now I'm going to create this pull request. What this does is it's going to basically send a note to the people that you want to review it. So you could add a reviewer here, you can make comments, you can click on this change files here and see exactly what changed. So I'm going to click on this load diff, and I can make comments to maybe tell the person like, by the way, like, I changed this because and here's why I did it this way. And so that can leave notes to the person who's reviewing your code. And so once they review your code, then they will approve it. And then at that point is when you would want to merge that into your main branch. And once it gets merged into your main branch, you'd then be able to see it here on your main branch page. And this is the main branch that everyone else should be working on, or you should be working off of by taking all the code from this main branch and then adding to it on your new branch. So let's see. That is basically everything I wanted to review today. So we learned about initializing your Git repo, how to change your branch from master to main, how to create a new branch and push your code to that new branch, and then how to create a pull request for that branch to push that to the main branch. So with that, I'm going to sign out, but please reach out to me if you have any questions. It's really important that you submit your homework this way and even using the command line and not by kind of copying things here and there, because this is the way that you're going to do it as a software engineer. And so we just want to be there to help you learn how to do this and to make sure that you don't lose any of your work in the process. So with that, talk to you guys later.